Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello, guys, welcome to Global Happenings today. We have a trending news here for you. The headline of the news reads Aisha Buhari under immense attack by Buhari's Kinsmen as ASO rock crisis deepens. But before we continue, we want to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. All right, let's look at the news in detail. The wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, has been castigated by the Kinsmen of the president over her Wednesday statement, which clearly attacked the senior special assistant to the president on media, Garba Shehu. In a separate exclusive interview in Katsina, the Kinsmen said that Mrs. Buhari would have not taken the steps she did, that the case was actually purely a private family affair which she made public. Mrs. Buhari had in a statement on Wednesday morning said, and I quote, "It was Garba Shehu who claimed that the government should not allow the office of the First Lady to run. It was later that it was confirmed by one of my aides that he was instructed by Maman Dwara to do so and not the president. This antic attracted the anger of Nigerian women. He didn't realize the fact that the First Lady's office is a tradition which has become an institution." Commenting on the statement by Aisha Buhari, resident of Dwara, the hometown of the president, said the First Lady should have reported the matter first to her husband. The chairman of the coalition of association in Dwara, Malam Mohammed Saleh, said that Mrs. Buhari's feud with Shehu should be seen as a pure private affair. He said that the outburst by the wife of the president was not good enough. According to him, attacking Shehu was akin to attacking the president. Saleh, in his words, said, "I try as much to refrain myself from commenting on the issue as some people are bound to misinterpret whatever one says on the issue. But I need to stress that this is a family affair which should be resolved." Attacking Garba Shehu, who is the spokesperson to the president, is likened to attacking the president himself. And I think this is not good enough. I will urge all of them to resolve any issue at stake privately. But another elder statesman in Dwara, Wanalaji Usman Kalgo, said the First Lady's public outburst on Shehu was an insult to the president. Kalgo, in his words, said if Aisha sees any shortcomings on the part of Garba Shehu or any other person working for her husband, the best person to complain to is her husband and not making the issue public. The president knows that Garba Shehu was competent before giving him the job of a spokesperson, and if there is a feud between Aisha and him or any other person, Aisha should respect her husband. She should report Shehu to her husband, not making it public. By making the issue public, she is giving a wrong impression of her husband, which is not good enough. Also, a lawyer who is an indigene of the town, one Ado Lalu, said that the wife of the president's approach of making the issue public would not solve the problem. Lalu said that the feud between the First Lady and Shehu or any other person in the presidency ought to have been resolved behind closed doors. Lalu said, and I quote his word, "Logically, attacking Garba Shehu publicly by the First Lady is not good enough. The First Lady has a direct access to the president and she could have discussed the issue that concerned her with him. Making her grievances public will not help matters." He went further to say, and I quote, "Even if the president is busy to attend to her complaints now because of his tight schedule, she will always get time to discuss the issues with the president. There are several ways of making one's grievances known, not by making such public, which will only aggravate the matter. This is strictly private matter and should be settled privately." But the spokesperson also for the Dwara Emirate Council, Malam Usman Ibrahim, when contacted on the phone, said it is a family matter and we don't speak on family issues. Also, the Emir of Gasu in Zamfara State, Alhaji Ibrahim Bello, through his protocol officer, Alhaji Abdul Kader Usman, said that the issue was entirely a private affair. He stated in his word, and I quote, "It is a family affair, it's not an official issue as such. I wouldn't want to talk about it." But before the 2019 election, the president's wife had alleged that those who did not contribute to the election of her husband in 2015 were benefiting from the regime. The crisis between the First Lady and Duara's family worsened in October when the president's nephew's daughter, Fatima, released a video. Fatima, in an interview with the BBC Hausa service, did admit that she recorded a video that went viral to provide proof for her parents and security officials about Mrs. Buhari's outburst during an encounter they had. Mrs. Buhari reacted to the video also when she returned from Europe in October. She said, "I was the one in the video, those behind me with my security personnel given to protect me. But Mama Duara's daughter Fatima shot the video in the presence of security officials and everybody. She was laughing at me because my husband said they should vacate the place, the glass house, for my son to occupy." Now, those are some of the things that culminated to, the battle between the president's wife and the senior spokesperson to the president on media. And a lot of reactions. I'm going to read one or two reactions by Nigerians so that you know the state of mind of the people. All right, one of them says, "It is happening." I said, "What is happening is victimization, and it's a national disgrace that the victim is the First Lady. What is wrong with these Duara people? The First Lady should prepare herself. This marriage will not last. The last president's wife, Yaradua, was treated like a great queen by her husband's people and family. This one is being dragged on the floor. Who do you expect them to support? Aisha is not from Katsina. Talk less of Duara. Duara Emirate will support their own. And nobody should blame her. She must have gotten to her limit. Her crying is a cry for help." And another person here says, "Why is it that General Buhari rarely addresses the press when in Nigeria, but is often quick to do so when he's abroad? We need to hear him talk, not through some political media assistant or consultant. I've also observed same." Okay, that's just the two that we are going to take for now. Okay, let me just pick this one lastly. He said, "The way you people are talking, I begin to wonder, do you know if she has spoke to him privately and he refused hearing? The way I suspect is that she has complained to him and he declined. This is one who doesn't respect court order. He sees himself as the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. So I guess he sees himself as both the husband and the wife. I don't blame her in any way." Wow, you can imagine the reactions of Nigerians to this. The lady came up and opened up on a lot of things about the senior special assistant to the president, Shehu Garba, which you have already heard the reaction of the people of Duara. They said it's actually a private issue that should be handled privately. And you have also heard reactions of Nigeria. My colleague is here. Considering both what we've heard in the news and also the reactions of Nigeria, what's your position on this?
Well, I feel that the social media was actually her last resort. For her to have come up now and start talking, I feel that she must have spoken to her husband. And just like the other person, the commenter said, he said maybe she has spoken and he had decided to see it as one of those lady stuff and didn't take it very serious, which is why she's now coming to the same social media which she said they should clamp down on. It's amazing. Karma is a bastard. Karma has no respect for anyone.
Barely some days.
Barely 48 hours where she said it online. That why should social media should be regulated? They should look at China. It didn't even get up to 48 hours. Auntie, our first lady came online and started shouting, "Shehu, oh, Shehu, Kabal, oh, Kabal." Now Nigerians are now mixed reactions here and there. Like one or two persons said in our comment section when I was going through the comments, they said, "Look, she usually would respond or usually would shout and make her claims whenever things don't go the way she wants. When they gave her ADs the other time, everything the ASO Rock was peaceful. She was happy. Everybody was happy. Someone said maybe her authority has been absurged. Maybe her authority is no longer recognized. That's why she's making this so much agitation. Like they rightly said, this is actually a private thing that should be done privately. But the truth be told, they are a public figure, and sometimes some of their things we'll get to know. But if something as big as this can't be handled, or rather, let me put it this way: if something as small as this can't be handled within the confines of ASO Rock, then that means Nigeria is a big shame. We're in big mess, because as small as the office of the First Lady, it doesn't take anything. Oh, open it. Oh, don't open it. Oh, give her funds. Oh, don't give her funds. Does she need to come to social media and scream? As small as that. That means, even the Bible will always say, a man who should be a priest or a bishop should be first a husband and a father to his children. If he can run his home well, that means, yes, he can run the church. He can run the parish. Same thing should be done also in the case of leadership. If as small as asking for her position either to be released or to be shut down, no one responded. That's why she came to social media, which is now Nigeria's last resort of getting justice. Because if you go on protest, it is called treasonable felony. If you want to go to jail, if you want DSS to catch you, go and protest. They did not ask you to. Something will just happen to you. But if you go on social media and talk and scream, you keep hearing things like retweet. It's true. It's before you know it, Nigerians will start, reacting. Even those in diaspora will get to hear what is going on. Yes, So, and that's what has been, and that's why she still shouted, "No, regulate it." Look at barely 48 hours. She still needs that same social media for us to help her shout. We are not shouting. All we want is let things be done properly in Nigeria. We are tired of shouting.
All right, thank you very much, Auntie Aisha. You've heard what Nigerians are saying. I think this issue, like for me, as a man, I think this is a private issue that should be discussed privately, because the truth of the matter is that the office of the wife of the president is of no importance to Nigerians as far as we are concerned. There had been no case of a particular issue that has been resolved by that office. Let's be truthful to ourselves. She has not resolved any issue for Nigeria. There had never been an issue. Traders' money. She said, okay, traders' money, I will give account of it. This was how it happened. It's just to sit there, blah, 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 just representing the president. So for me, I if there's nothing, I love the president for just being quiet over it. He's a matured man, and he knows that there are more important issues in his life to discuss. So no need to blab around it.
But even before now, the presidency said it. President Buhari said that there shall be no office for the First Lady. Yes. During the time of good luck, Dean, Patience, Jonathan. When she during that campaign, when she was just running her mouth, he got angry. Said as soon as he gets into the city, he's going to scrap that office called First Lady's office. So this will no longer be in existence. So it's amazing, really, that it's almost coming up the second term.
Yeah, you understand. So Mr. President has a lot of things to do. He has more pressing issue. Your office is not even a pressing issue right now in Nigeria. Whether you have an office or you don't have an office, we know you as what? Mrs. Buhari, the wife of the president. And certainly there should be a small office somewhere for you to stay and do your running around. Anytime the president wants to go somewhere, you accompany him down there and all of that. So that's not a problem in Nigeria. There are more pressing issues that should be handled. After all, this was the same social media you came on board and said, hey, we don't want social media. Hey, you blah, 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 blah. Now you're coming back. Whose sympathy are you asking for? Madam, go and find a place, sit down. Let the president run the show of this country as Nigerians are expecting. This is totally a private issue. Go and resolve it. Another thing is that Garba and Shehu, he's doing what he is supposed to do, normally. And guess what? The president may have instructed him to listen to who? To Mama and Dwara. Sorry, what? Yeah, Mama. If the president say on issues surrounding this kind of thing, please go to Mama Ndwara, let him handle it. What do you want the young man to do? He must always obey the president. So go and resolve the thing. After all, Mr. President had told us at one point that the place of the wife is where? In the other room. In the other room. So if you are not a minister, why are you bothering Nigeria? So
but I have a question. One of my questions is, there's something one of the commentators said that caught my attention. He said something. He said, why is it that we get to hear the president when he's outside the country and we don't get to hear him when he's in Nigeria? That's a strong question.
Right.
Things like this issue of Omoyele Sowore, I expected Mr. President himself to address it, not via his social media person.
The man, he has his own style of leadership. Though he's not Nigerians and not me personally, I'm not comfortable with it. I wish that he speaks on certain issues personally so that, Nigerians can know this is the standpoint. Because guess what? Yeah, he's the one talking to Nigerians via his spokesperson, but still, Nigerians are not comfortable enough. We would love to see the president speaking on some critical issues concerning this nation.
Now, that brings me to that question that Aisha said, that what's his name? Shehu, the senior spokesperson, does not speak the mind, I'm quoting her, does not speak the mind of the president, but he speaks the mind of Mama Ndwara. That's a strong statement.
Okay.
Now, if president does not come to speak, but he can actually speak in outside diaspora, he went to Egypt, he spoke with his mouth. Yes. Shehu didn't speak for him. Mama Ndwara didn't speak for him. But in Nigeria here, we get to hear Shehu speaking on behalf of the president.
Or Femi
Adesina. Or Loretta. And now, the first lady, Aisha, is now using her mouth to say that most times, it is actually not, when it says the president, he uses the husband's name, but it's actually coming from, the narrative is actually coming from Mama Ndwara. When I heard it, it's a strong statement. Yes. It's not this one is not false news. It's not fake news. She said it with her mouth on her page, which means it is true. So who is truly saying that? How do we know the president says what? Since she's now saying now with her mouth that sometimes it's not the presidents that say.
Now that's another issue to consider, because therefore most of the decisions that have been taken in this country by the statement made by the first lady is actually being taken by Mama Ndwara. That's what we are talking. Yes. Exactly, and this is really troubling. Hearing the Mrs. President talking this way, and that's why as the Mrs. President needs to be covered at one point. Maybe it's the will of God that she has to open her mouth and say that. But we'll leave it for another time. Please do well to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button, and don't forget to go to our comment section and tell us what's your position in respect to the issues between the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Shehu, Garba, and the Mrs. Buhari, Aisha Buhari, and also the rest.